What is going on, people? Welcome to another video where we're going over one of my favorite freestyles of all time. So I guess I'll just name it the same thing, part 2. And today we've got a part 5. We've got Wretch 3-2's Fire in the Booth part 5 now. Wretch is one of the coldest lyricists, I'm gonna say the best lyricist the UK has ever had, in my opinion. And he's emphasized that and highlighted that skill of his through his freestyles, particularly his Fire in the Booth. So there's a handful of freestyles I can select from him, especially his Fire in the Booth with Avelino around the time that they did the mixtape Young Fire Old Flame, which is back there on the wall. Wait, somewhere there. There you go. Which is a cold mixtape in its own right, and when they did the Fire in the Booth around the time that it released, that caught a lot of attention, and that's widely known as the best freestyle ever from the UK. And I do agree with that statement, but his solo Fire in the Booth part 5 is also just, it rivals it head on with me personally, and so I just want to emphasize and highlight this freestyle in particular. Just before we get into it, I'm not going to be breaking down every single lyric. 1, because I probably can't, and 2, because we would be here for a very long time. The Crep video that I did last time was long enough as it was, and people enjoyed that as it is. I'm not looking to go over 20 minutes with this video, but you never know.
You know what time it is when you hear this, right? Let's get ready to rumble!
Such a legendary intro, man.
Wrote this in the country, I was staring at horses. It's kind of nice to be still, I've been Frankie the touring.
So already from the way he starts, it's so calm. You just have that piano in the back, and that is it. It's such a calm start. And then he's already with the wordplay. It's been sitting in the country staring at horses. It's been nice to sit down. I've been Frankie the touring. Frankie the Tory is a famous horse jockey over here, so yeah. The touring, like Frankie the Tory, he's been touring, so it's nice. Just my brain.
First year I really tapped into my audience. You won't be asked to pay respect if you cannot afford it. See if the fruit.
You will not be asked to pay respect if you cannot afford it. Like, that is some poetic shit right there.
You won't be asked to pay respect if you cannot afford it. See if the fruits of my labors to rap every morning. That's your Frank Ocean the label and channel my orange. I hope I'm one step away from that place there. They told us that Craig would only have 7 days there. He came back. Sky's just the limit we placed there.
Craig, referencing Craig David and his song 7 Days. Craig David was legendary in the UK, still is. Was legendary back in the day and then disappeared for a good while. And people were like, and then people obviously made the joke like, you know, Craig David only lasts 7 days, and then man came back with a bang. And he's like, sky's the only limit we place there. Like, the sky's the limit, and that's what we place there. You can go beyond that. Like, if Craig David can make a comeback, anyone can fucking do what they want. Like, just Wretch has inspiring shit in his words.
I rate that. Water sign, yeah, I love the water splashing wave, fam. Used to want to be a Ninja Turtle when I was 8, fam. We were young shellers eating pizzas in the States, man. I'm still here in a tight circle, that's the same band.
We got Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle buzz, son. Let's go. And the fact that he referenced, you know, something within pop culture that a lot of us can relate to, or at least heard of, the Ninja Turtles, you know, the fact that he brings you back to Earth and makes you realize that he's human, and then brings these out of the world level bars on this Ninja Turtle scheme. Like, it's just Wretch.
Yeah, I'ma do or die properly. I got human rights on me. When your child dropped, it was like another child from me. And if it pops off, then we'll be side by side, Ovi. I wish you all the best, but that's never life story. Cause if Whitney was the moral, how would you define Bobby?
Oh my god. And Sloth's face there makes sense. Like that, you're disgusted that a human being can do this.
I fell in the zone and woke up in a liquor fountain. That's a tight space, a dark hole can have a thing about it. Bet you didn't know that going in could be a killer outing. Woo!
My body doesn't know how to react to this shit. Keep in mind, I've listened to this freestyle for the past, what, 3-4 years? Past 2.5, 3 years I've been listening to this, and it's still refreshing to hear each and every time.
I can only give you me. They don't tell you how to live your dream without the sleep. How on the weekend you're the man, but it gets lonely in the week. No surrender, no retreat. Some family on your tree now can only see your branch when they used to hear your leaves. Used to share your feast. Then no one was hungry soon as the goat became the sheep.
Listen, oh my god. Listen, so he's talking about the struggle being an artist, or The struggle of chasing your dream, and during the week when you're putting in the work hours, it's lonely. It's a lonely process to shut off the world, not get distracted, and just focus on what you're doing. Like what I'm doing right now. You know, that's a lonely process. But when you celebrate on the weekend, when you're in the club or when you're, you know, at an event or a party, whatever, that's when you get to celebrate it with everyone. That's when it's the social aspect of it. But it's lonely to actually put in the work hours. How, and then talks about the struggle of how that affects you and your relationship with your family. And this is why we love Wretch, because he does it in such a poetic way. He's giving you life advice, but he doesn't want you to just be able to take it. It's something that you have to slowly digest and understand over time. And to be perfectly honest, I think I'm too young to even understand the full extent of this freestyle. Because Wretch it feels like he has so much life experience to give, and I feel like you can only tap into a certain level of that when you've lived through the things that he has lived, or you've only lived as long as he has. Wretch, to my knowledge, is in his mid-30s. Maybe early 30s. I could be so wrong. But he touches on subjects that I can understand, but I can't necessarily relate to. For example, him having kids. I can understand what he's saying, but I won't relate to it because I don't have kids of my own yet. And so Wretch just never gives it to you straightforward.
I dealt with the matter when that was all that mattered. You ate all the pies while I was sharing out the platter. And Judas on the tables like a Buddhist with a hammer, bringing peace with a piece. You want the passage or the passer.
And the drums kick in now. We've heard him bar out for what, 2 minutes, 2.5 minutes? And he's only now letting the drums kick in. He has kept us on our toes this entire time without any drums. With just the piano and that sample, which I believe is from Kanye's Blood in the Leaves. Blood on the Leaves, Blood in the Leaves, something like that. And he sampled that from something, I would assume.
Not engaged, but she busy doing for the dick challenge. How about we make a challenge for our children to be challenged?
It's so frustrating. Let me tell you why it's frustrating. People, because I will never ever be able to tap into that level of fucking lyricism. I'll never be able to tap into this level of delivery, this level of artistry. This pen game is untouched by 99% of artists worldwide.
I've been there, got the t-shirt, rest in peace tomorrow. I know it seems immoral, but degrees are optional, so we don't read, we follow. So don't tell me stay woke and I ain't slept in 3 days.
Don't tell me stay woke when I ain't slept in 3 days. Don't tell...
Say I sold my soul, I want my check from eBay. If you love the rapper, then respect the DJ. Cause without one, you couldn't mic check to replay. Still felt like the gift when there was nothing under the tree. My poor mother told us that nothing's coming for free. Now the show's sold out, everybody's coming for free. And I can see your heart and it's barely touching your sleeve.
What are we meant to do? Where's the instruction manual for this man? How do we access the settings? At what point do we get our receipt for a lifetime guarantee? Where's his order reference number? I need these things because I don't understand what product we have in front of us. I don't think people truly understand the levels that Wretch sets. Listen to that last bar again.
Show sold out, everybody's coming for free. And I can see your heart and it's barely touching your sleeve.
I can see your heart and it's barely touching your sleeve. The saying of wearing your heart on your sleeve. If you wear your heart on your sleeve, you're open, you're very transparent. You know, you show all of your emotions, you show all of your cards. You're honest with everyone. Look at what I've done for my family. Don't tell me you're keeping it 100.
I guess he must be missing an angel, we got a few. That shooter out in Vegas, he really gambled with youth. To even out the odds, should've let me snap him in two and fight with electric and shock him out of his shoes. Charlie, that's me.
wow. Yeah, precisely, wow. He even touched on a social issue at the time, which was the Vegas shootings. And that's how he wants to end off. Like, he just threw that in there like it was nothing. Like, that freestyle felt finished, and then he's just like, okay, this happened. Let me touch on this real quick. And throw an extra 4 bars in at the end. And then just goes, Charlie, that's me. And that is Wretch. That is Wretch in his purest form here, in my opinion. We could be here for a very long time if I try and speak on everything that I like about Wretch. But I hope I've kind of given you a broad summary of what I like about Wretch. And this is without touching on his songwriting ability. This is not touching on his versatility, you know? Wretch 32 is arguably the best UK rapper, and I will say rapper, of all time. He's touched on grime, he's done the Afro swing thing, he's touched a lot of genres. But if we're talking rap, this is where Wretch is home. And for him to be able to write one long verse in a freestyle format, it's just where you see how fucking good his pen is. Like, he's one of those artists that has to dumb down his writing for his studio finished songs, you know? For his polished album work, should you say. Which, don't get me wrong, he still has a bag of lyricism there. But here, when there's no restrictions to making it a good song, when it's just write whatever you want to write, Wretch knows how to do that too. Some people only know how to write good songs and they can't freestyle. Most people can actually freestyle in this format but can't actually songwrite. Because of Wretch's songwriting ability, it makes me appreciate his freestyles even more, because I know he's got more to his game than this. This is just what he's able to do with probably, I know it sounds crazy, but with the least thought behind it. This is probably Wretch when he's just writing for the sake of writing. And the reason I appreciate that so much is because I would like to say I'm a similar artist in terms of my freestyles that are just one long verse straight through is probably my best work, as opposed to my songs that I finish and, you know, work on the structure, etc, etc. And so, to know that Wretch does it to this level though, that, be honest with me people, how many people can rival this level of lyricism? And this is the reason why me being from the UK focus on lyrics so much. America focus a lot on getting litty and melodies. You'd say melodic is melodic tracks is what the highlight for people then. But here, lyricism is such a big thing in the UK, and it's why we hold Wretch to such a high standard. Sometimes when I say I'm not feeling a song, it's because it lacks any lyrical content. And Wretch is an example of why, when I react to people, it's very hard to impress me with good wordplay. Because Wretch does this in such a natural way where it's not forced. You can't tell what the punchline's going to be from the setup. Half the time, you can't even tell what the next rhyming word's going to be. Because he's so creative in how he goes about laying this all out. It's insane. And despite me agreeing with the statement of if you work towards anything you can get better, I just believe that there's just natural talent in this man. There's just something that he has deep down that very, very few people on this fucking earth can tap into. After I've just had a little bit of a nerdgasm about Wretch 32, that is one of my top 5 freestyles of all time. But let me know what you think about it in the comment section below. Feel free to go check out the original freestyle. Feel free to go check out my newest Single Pennies, which is out right now. Links also in the description below. And yeah, appreciate all the support. If you want to see another one of these, let me know. And yeah, I'll talk to you, man, later.